America has lost its power. By 2050, America's role as a superpower has declined. What can America do to regain its position? America has not invested enough for its public infrastructure. Hi, I'm Markku Wilenius, the traveling futurist. America has lost its power. Can it gain it back? That is the question. According to some recent studies by Pew Center, 6 out of the 10 Americans think that by 2050, America's role as a superpower has declined. And this comes particularly from educated people. So they are pessimistic about the future role of America, and that is significant. In the 20th century, it was America who dominated the global scene. For almost the half of the century, it was the superpower that was rivaled by another superpower, Soviet Union, until it faded away in a rapid pace by the early 90s. After that, America established itself as the only superpower. And it has been only recently when the China and the rise of the whole Asia has changed this position. Now, when we are looking at the future of America, the question is, what can America do to regain its position as a superpower and to stand against the rise of the Asia? Or, better still, to collaborate with them. America is still a global powerhouse. It's still very dynamic. It still has one of the leading companies in the world, and its political regime is acknowledged worldwide. It's truly still a global superpower. And recent events like a Russian invasion to Ukraine have actually proved that it's still using that power of building a bloc, in this case building a bloc for good, to help Ukraine in their heroic fight against invaders. But the question remains, is this just a temporary position? Is America receding? Now we need to look at inside of America a little bit. When you look at inside America, we see that there are a lot of internal tensions. They're basically, the American political scene currently is divided by two parties, Democrats and Republicans, and they as if belong to the different universe. This is because there have been a lot of political struggle that has built this kind of a juxtaposition between the two parties, to the extent that those parties, particularly the Republicans, seem to be more focused on their self-interest, to promoting themselves rather than to promoting for the country. This has a huge impact the way the United States works. If the United States is unable to bring in a new generation of political thinking that crosses divides and rather looks for the common good than the self-interest of the parties or the politicians themselves, they're gonna be on the losing ground. So the future lies in the way that America can reinvigorate itself in terms of this political system. The second challenge that America has, it is failing infrastructure. Now, if you ever been riding your car in American lanes and highways, you soon notice that the infrastructure there looks like more from the third world countries. You can easily see it's not being supported by the federal state. The same goes for electricity and energy systems and many other infrastructures. For the reasons of self-interest, America has not invested enough for its public infrastructure. The same goes for the social system. America is the only advanced country that doesn't provide universal healthcare for its citizens, which is highly dependent of their particular income and their particular connections to the insurance companies. This is also something very much untenable, because what does it do for the country? It increases the inequality inside and creates a lot of tensions some of which we have already seen. If you ask, how is it possible that in an advanced democracy like in America, you can have 4 years of administration run by the president who have no idea what is the common good or doesn't care about it, who built this kind of chaotic organization called American government for that period of time? It is impossible to think that this could have happened in any country that calls it a truly advanced in terms of its social systems and in terms of its economy and technology. America is a divided and broken country, but it's also a country that has a role to play in the future of the world. And I'm saying this particularly because what we need in this world is a dynamic harmony and balance. And America represents the type of the force that can build a new coalitions in the world where China's aggressive move to the global stage has to be alleviated, negotiated, put into the frames. America can build coalitions. Coalition between the Europe and America would be particularly useful for both parties. For Americans, they could be inspired by the way the resource efficiency has been built in Europe, leading to a much more sustainable energy solutions and infrastructure solutions. To build the whole idea of a sustainable society, which is very far from where America is right now. It can also draw from advanced cultural and spiritual thinking of the Europe, bypassing these divides that comes out of arguing whether there was a creation or whether there was an evolution. We should surpass those type of debates in our times. Europe could gain hugely from being more close ally with America, particularly because the type of the entrepreneurial spirit of America, the dynamic economy, is something that we still need to look to reinvigorate in Europe. Together, these and some other parts of the world can build a coalition for good that looks after the global good and balances out of any type of efforts from some other parties, be it China, be it Russia, be it someone else who tries to invade the other countries who are aggressively moving over their own borders and causes trouble in the world rather than contributing something good for it. Summing up, America was a star of 20th century without any equal. What will happen with the United States of this century will be depending on its ability to reinvent itself. If it's not able to do that, it will sink to its internal strides and rotten infrastructure and bad politics. If it can reinvent itself, it can become a star for this century as well and be a global powerhouse for good. Subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and give your remark or question about what you think is the future of America.